Issue 1. The Happy Holiday. Read by Tony Greenland. Helen and Tony were taking their first trip in Helen's brand new car. "Let's go to Southport," Tony said in an enthusiastic voice.
Alright,
Helen said. On the way to Southport, Tony was playing some loud music. Helen was not too fond of this.
I'm trying to fucking drive.
"I'm trying to fucking DJ," replied Tony in a sarcastic tone. But other than that, the journey went quite pleasant, and the two arrived later on at Southport Beach.
Matey. High five.
You Ming, not high-fiving you. Tony was embarrassed, but Helen high-fived him like a big cheesy American tit that she was. Then the two decided it was time for dinner. Luckily, they'd been to the baker's and purchased some hot, fresh food to have a picnic, whilst looking at the ducks and the seagulls. So, they got the bag and dug deep down to the bottom where the hot jam donuts were. The smell of fresh donuts. They both sat and paused for a moment, taking in the delight that was the smell of fresh donuts. It was silent, with only the sounds of the birds outside and the stomach rumbling inside. Suddenly, a hot shot of molten lava hot jam shot straight past Helen's eyes. Tony was oblivious in his heavenly bliss. It wasn't until he felt the hot jam rolling down his hands that he realized what had happened and the seriousness of the situation. Helen looked stern, straight in the eye. Tony looked back at Helen. Helen looked at the jam. Tony looked at the jam. Helen looked back at Tony. Stern. Tony looked back at Helen. No one said a word. It was almost as if no one had words to describe the gravity of the situation. Helen's face began to sweat more and more as she stared Tony deep in the eyes. Suddenly, her face turned a red, rougey colour. Tony's face was also sweating, but his was kind of blue. Blue like the blood had drawn from all the nerves in his body. It shot to his hands and feet to help him escape. He looked closely in Helen's eyes. There was a fire burning, raging deep within her soul. In Tony's eyes now had turned frozen snowflakes, scared stiff. 30 seconds passed. No one said a word. Can you imagine this calm before the storm? Can you imagine what Helen would say? The wrath of her and her new car. No one had words. It seemed like a lifetime had passed. Tony's heart was beating out his chest, waiting for the response. He almost wanted the response to be, over with.
You fucking rubber. It's a fucking nigga, you fucking man.
Helen turned into a raging bat out of hell. Tony reached with his hand pressing against the window, trying to escape this mad woman. His hand slid down the window with a squeaking sound as he etched the word help into the condensation as a last but hopeful attempt to gain someone's attention. Now, Helen shouted, "Let me see."